and welcome to another daily dose of sacred vitality. We're your microdose. Today, my name is Christine Dosty, and I help women with energetic blocks, misalignments, and resistance. Sorry, I'm a little late. My computer did not want to cooperate. Technology, huh? Okay, today we are going to talk about the sacral chakra. So before we begin, please sit up nice and tall, put a smile on your face, allow that grounding cord to go down into the earth, drawing up that beautiful earth energy that is supportive, grounding, nurturing, and centering. And then we're going to draw down and connect to the heavens and draw down that pearly white, golden light as it swirls down and pools down your crown, your head, your shoulders, out your fingers, all the way down through the torso and out into the earth again. And just imagine yourself in between the earth and the heavens, and you're a conduit. And you're bringing that earth energy into the earth. You're bringing that divine energy into the earth, you're bringing that earth energy up, and you're just allowing it to flow down the back and up the front and down the back and up the front. Being here in the present moment. And allow that energy to flow while we're talking in the back, just cleansing and releasing. Great. So, the sacral chakra. Yesterday we discussed the root chakra. It's a lot about physical identity and outward. It's a yang chakra. The sacral chakra, however, is a yin chakra. Its element is water, and it is about change, polarities in the respect of self versus others. There's a lot of relationship components to deal with the sacral chakra. It's about movement, pleasure, emotions, sexuality, creativity, also nurturing feelings, passions, desires. There's a catchphrase for this chakra, which is really about being able to let go and create flow. So as I said, this is a yin chakra. This chakra is about having choices, realizing that you have a choice, okay? Not just like, yeah, there's choices out there, but no, actually acknowledging that you understand you have choice. This is about your interests and your capacity to participate, but it's also your ability to be receptive. So this chakra specifically is about emotional identity. And when it comes to the emotional identity, you are either fixed and rigid, or you're going to be open and flowing and anywhere along that spectrum. So when we're talking about pleasure, this really invites you to expand and kind of surrender into it so that you can grow bigger. And it's understanding your body sensations as a source of information for you. So again, we talked about if you're ignoring your body and ignoring the signals that are coming from your body, then it's going to be a lot harder to process what's going on inside your body. This skill of this chakra is to move emotional energy specifically, to move it through the body, to move it out of the body, to understand that you have an obligation to yourself, not just other people, and trusting connections, trusting in yourself and your intuition and your ability to make good choices for yourself. It's also about joy in life. And whereas the sacral was much about the sense of self, or the root is about sense of self. The sacral is more about your inner kind of shadow self that you may or may not be showing to other people. So the emotional energy is what powers our choices, our thoughts, and our intentions. So that's why this one is really important. And especially for women, because the womb is there, which we'll talk about in a second. So it's a lot of emotional power in this chakra. The demon of this chakra is guilt, feeling guilty for having needs, for having sexual needs, for having emotional needs. But the goal of this chakra is to be able to kind of dance with the dualities without losing your center. So can you balance pleasure with obligation? Can you balance rigidity with flexibility? Can you balance your needs and what you must do for others as well as what you need to do for yourself? Can you have the pleasure but without getting overly stuck on things, which we'll also talk about in a second? And can you do it without tension in the body, tension in the emotions, and feeling emotionally triggered by experiences or people or things that are going on? So we've got fluid movement of the emotional state. That's the goal of what's happening here. If this were a statement, the statement would be, I feel, or I have the right to feel. I have the right to my feelings. It seems simple sometimes to say that, but in our everyday lives, we do not always feel that we have that right and that choice. You know, at work, with bosses, especially if you're in corporate, people don't care necessarily how you feel. You see it how we treat other people on the street. We're not very interested in other people's feelings sometimes. And that is actually a projection of our own emotional needs not necessarily being met. So when this chakra is open, you're feeling benevolent, you're able to express your emotional needs clearly, you are willing to see the positive, you don't avoid or oppose other people just outright. You are willing to listen and participate in the conversation. You're open to life and circumstances in general because you trust your emotions, you trust your connection to your emotions, and you are able to develop healthy relationships because you've got the boundaries between you and other well under control. When it is completely closed down, that is when we'll see blaming a lot of other people. You'll also see manipulative behavior, especially emotional manipulation. You'll see some trust issues coming up, definitely sexual issues, a general coldness or rigidity in how you're dealing with other people or yourself. You can be withdrawn from your emotions, refusing to share them or even acknowledge them. Other things is that your lack of inspiration, maybe a general fatigue and a blahness, and definitely issues with boundaries with other people, especially around feeling a sense of duty, which we'll get to in a second. When this chakra is too open, which yes, all chakras can, they're balanced, they're closed, they're open. We want them happily, right? Balanced, not too closed, not too open. When this one is too open, then you will certainly overlook your own needs to your detriment while taking care of other people. I feel like moms, I'm a mom, so I feel like I can say this. We slip into this a lot, especially with our kids. We'll forget to eat. We'll forget to take care of ourselves because we feel like we're so busy taking care of other people, right? And you're taking care of the emotional needs of other people. And because we kind of got trained, women especially, we get trained to do this. Then as we grow up, we end up actually taking on the emotional needs of our partners, and then they don't deal with their crap and we're dealing with it. So that's too open. Okay, you got to have a nice boundary, a nice distance. So you have your own space, not always the other people's crap. So some core beliefs that are around this chakra specifically is knowing the difference between your emotional needs and another's emotional needs. You can help for sure, but if you're too enmeshed in other people's needs, then that's where you go beyond your own boundary and it's a detriment to yourself. If you have inner core statements that sound like this, I don't have a choice. It's my duty to do this. I must put the needs of others above myself. No. These are core beliefs that need to be addressed. They are not healthy for you, and also none of that is true. So if you have any of that kind of programming going on in your body, especially in that area, then it's to do some work, get some clearings, and get some help. Some organs and glands that are involved in the sacral chakra. This one, as I said, is a water element, so we're dealing with the fundamental liquids in the body. We're talking about your circulation of blood, your urinary elimination, and anything around sexual and reproductive fluids. For the organs, of course, the womb is here, and this is your source of creativity and new life. So oftentimes, especially with women or mothers, as I said, you will be vulnerable to relationship issues, especially because of the suppression of your own emotions and with it, your sense of freedom. So something to be aware of. Your spleen, which sits here on the left side of the body, it filters your blood. It is also kind of a seat of your intuition and your instinct, and it actually is affected a lot by fear and anxiety. So it will be sluggish if you are having troubles with this chakra, and if it is sluggish, then you'll have fear and doubt around trusting your own instincts and your own intuition. The liver is detoxifying the whole system, and it also stores resentment, fatigue, anger, rage, fury. The kidneys, they remove waste and help balance the water in the body, and they also hold regret, dread, horror, these kinds of past emotions. And if these are things that are coming up for you right now, which, yeah, I understand outside circumstances can be a little tricky, but if it feels overly much with the emotions, then you're having some second chakra, some sacral issues. Your bladder, funny enough, of course, like dogs, like marking your territory. And this removes, this is meridian of fear specifically. It supplies water to the kidneys. It also stores toxins. So if you're going to the bathroom too much, then there might be something going on. Urinary tract infections, these kinds of things are definitely sacral chakra issues. Anything to do with the low back pain or sexual organs. And don't neglect the whole limbic system. The limbic system runs throughout the body, and it controls the hormones, the heart rate, the blood pressure, and even the breathing. And the limbic system can be spots in our bodies where we store feelings of defenselessness or feeling like we're betrayed. If you have orange flags instead of red flags, you'll notice you have a tense, rigid body or rigid thinking. You'll have sexual issues. Maybe you can't attract a sexual partner, or you'll be controlling. You might even have organizational of your space issues, like everything is messy and clutter is all over the place. You'll have abundance issues for sure. And be careful if you're finding that you're too dependent on alcohol or caffeine or even sex. Like that is meaning that your sacral chakra is out of whack. And if you are feeling possessive, like you have to hold on, this is the same with the overabundance with the food. It's like there's a void and you're really just trying to stuff it and fill it. Ways to support. Emotion code work. There are a lot of emotion code practitioners out there. You want to release some of these emotions that might be stuck in parts of the body. Breath work is super helpful here. And I mean like 30 to 40 minutes of working with a practitioner, not just like yogic breathing, although that's helpful too, but I'm talking full breath work. Dancing, especially moving your hips, walking, getting boundary work done, relationship clearings, breaking old patterns, focusing on old patterns. Definitely get massage. That also helps with the limbic system and gets the fluids moving. And touch is really associated with that. And this is one where it's really important to cultivate a sacred relationship with yourself. Feel your body, feel your needs, listen to what it's saying to you, and then support it. It is ruled, also add on to that an inflammatory diet, absolutely, and focus on concepts of like assistance, but also accountability. So you have a balance where, yeah, maybe you're helping people, but you hold them accountable as well. So that it's not just you taking all that on. This chakra is ruled by the planet Moon. The Moon, well, not planet, but it's ruled by the Moon. It's also ruled by Pluto, which is the planet for transformation. So any orange stones are good. Carnelian, citrine, orange, aventurine. And a good mantra to use for this chakra is, I permit delight sweetness, and an arousing quality to my life. I hope you found this helpful. This was just a microdose of sacred vitality where we focused on the sacral chakra. My name is Christine Dosty, and I help women with energetic misalignments, blocks, and resistance. Tomorrow I will be going on at 11 o'clock because I got some stuff to do. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.